All right, today we're jumping into a pretty wild economic idea that has an even wilder name, helicopter money. What in the world is it, and could something like this actually work? Let's dive in.
Okay, just imagine this for a second. You wake up one morning, you check your bank account, and poof, there's an extra 10,000 rupees in there from the government. It's not a loan, it's not a tax refund, it's just there. Free money. Seriously, what would you even do with it? Well, this isn't just some fantasy scenario, it's actually the heart of a very real and very debated economic theory. So this whole idea of money just seemingly falling from the sky, it actually has an official name. And yeah, it's about as visual as you'd imagine.
He's officially called helicopter money, and the concept is actually pretty straightforward. Basically, when the economy is really struggling, the central bank or the government decides to skip all the usual complicated channels and just gives a big chunk of cash directly to everybody. The goal? It's all about getting people to start spending again and, jumpstart the whole system.
Now this might sound like some crazy, brand new idea someone cooked up recently, right? Well, believe it or not, the roots of this concept goes surprisingly far back. So where on earth did this idea even come from?
So the term itself was coined way back in 1969 by the Nobel Prize-winning economist Milton Friedman. He used this really vivid thought experiment to explain it. He said, hey, just imagine a helicopter flying over a town and literally dropping cash from the sky. What would happen? People would run outside, grab the money, and almost certainly go spend it. And that simple image? It perfectly captures the core of the idea. A direct, unexpected shot of cash right into the hands of consumers.
Okay, so obviously they're not going to use actual helicopters, right? So how is this supposed to work in the real world, in a modern economy? Well, there's a specific chain reaction that's supposed to kick in. All right, let's walk through the ideal scenario. Step 1, boom, the money gets deposited right into people's accounts. Simple enough. Now step 2 is the most crucial part. People have to actually go out and spend that new money. If they do, that leads to step 3, a huge surge in demand for all kinds of products and services. And finally, step 4, businesses see all this new demand, they ramp up production, hire more people, and the whole economy gets that boost it needs. That's the theory anyway.
So you might be thinking, okay, that's a nice theory, but has anyone ever actually tried this? Well, it turns out a very recent global crisis gave us something that looks a lot like a real-world test case.
Remember the COVID-19 pandemic? In the US, the government sent stimulus checks directly to millions of Americans. Now, technically, it was a little different from the pure definition of helicopter money, but the principle was exactly the same. Give people cash directly to keep the economy from completely collapsing. And let me tell you, this real-life experiment kicked off a massive debate about its effectiveness and long-term consequences, a debate that is definitely still going on.
But, and this is a big but, this is no magic bullet. The idea of just creating and handing out money is, as you can imagine, super controversial. It's got some huge potential upsides, but also some really serious risks. Let's break down the pros and cons. Okay, on the plus side, the biggest advantage is speed. It's fast. It can instantly boost spending and get money directly to people who really need it during a recession. But the downsides are pretty scary. The number one concern is always inflation. I mean, if there's suddenly way more money chasing the same amount of stuff, prices can shoot up. It also adds to the national debt. And then there's the human factor. What if people are just too nervous about the future and they decide to save the money instead of spend it? If that happens, the whole economic boost just fizzles out. So you might be asking, wait, doesn't the government always do things to stimulate the economy? What makes this so different? And that's a great question, because the distinction is absolutely crucial.
Let's break it down. Normal stimulus is usually stuff like tax cuts or government loans to businesses. The impact is slower and it's indirect. You hope the business uses the loan to hire people or that people spend their tax cut. Helicopter money, on the other hand, is all about being fast and direct. It's cash straight to the people and, this is key, there's no repayment expected. It's just a fundamentally different approach.
So when you boil it all down, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this key takeaway.
The crucial point is that it's all about putting money directly into people's hands, with absolutely no strings attached. But that leaves us with the big, multi-trillion-dollar question, doesn't it? Is helicopter money an innovative shortcut to economic growth, or is it a dangerous path toward a major financial crisis? The debate is far from over, but now you have the tools to understand it.